The unlikely champion. Welcome to the greatest show in the galaxy. Ladies, gentlemen, and assorted sentient beings from across the spiral arm, welcome to the 847th Galactic Championship Tournament. I am your host, Vex Corvani, broadcasting live from the magnificent Grand Coliseum of Zentari Prime, where today we witness what promises to be either the greatest miracle in galactic sports history or the most spectacular disaster ever recorded on subspace feeds. The atmosphere here is absolutely electric, with over 2 million spectators packed into this colossal arena, representing 400 different species from across known space. The betting pools have reached astronomical proportions, with odds that would make a Ferengi weep with joy. But before we discuss the financial carnage about to unfold, let me introduce you to today's most peculiar contestant. The human anomaly. Standing in Preparation Chamber 7, we have what can only be described as the most unlikely champion candidate in tournament history. Meet Nora Blake, a 28-year-old human female from the backwater mining colonies of Earth's asteroid belt. Yes, you heard correctly, a human. From Earth. That little blue marble orbiting an unremarkable yellow star in the unfashionable end of the galaxy. Nora stands exactly 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at a modest 145 pounds of what appears to be soft, pink vulnerability. She wears simple black coveralls, the kind typically reserved for maintenance workers and cargo handlers. No ceremonial armor, no bio-enhancements, no energy shields, just basic fabric and what our sensors indicate are rubber-soled work boots. The same material most civilized species use for children's toys. The most amusing part? She's here representing her entire species in this winner-takes-all tournament. The stakes couldn't be higher. If she loses, Earth becomes a mining colony for the Galactic Empire. If she wins, well, that's purely theoretical at this point because the odds against her are currently sitting at 89,000 to 1. The competition. Allow me to introduce the real champions, the beings who actually have a chance of surviving the opening ceremonies. First, we have Krogar the Decimator, a 12-foot-tall warrior from the death world of Grimthorn. His species evolved on a planet where the gravity is 4 times Earth standard, and the local wildlife includes creatures that hunt starships for sport. Krogar's natural armor plating can deflect plasma cannon fire, and his 4 arms each possess the strength to crush tank armor. Next, we have Silthera the Void Hunter, a graceful yet deadly assassin from the shadow realm of Necros. Her species exists partially in another dimension, allowing her to phase in and out of reality at will. She has personally eliminated 73 previous champions across various tournaments, often before they even realized she was there. Then there's Brutus Rex, a living mountain from the heavy-gravity world of Titan's Rest. Standing 15 feet tall and weighing approximately 3 tons, his crystalline body structure makes him virtually indestructible. He once survived a direct hit from a fusion bomb and complained it tickled. The mockery begins. The laughter echoing through the arena is deafening. 3 separate bookmakers have collapsed into fits of hysteria while processing bets on the human. One enterprising Zephyrian has started a side wager on whether Nora will faint during the opening ceremonial roar. Another is taking bets on how many seconds she'll survive once the actual combat begins. The most popular bet? Whether she'll run screaming from the arena before the first round even starts. The odds on that particular outcome are surprisingly competitive at only 3 to 1. The unknown factor. What these laughing spectators don't understand, what the bookmakers haven't calculated, and what the other champions haven't considered, is that Earth isn't just another pretty planet. It's classified as a Class 12 death world by the Galactic Survey Corps. A designation reserved for planets so hostile that merely existing there requires constant adaptation and survival skills that most species never develop. But looking at Nora Blake, standing quietly in her preparation chamber, methodically checking her simple gear with the calm precision of someone who has spent years working in the vacuum of space, you wouldn't know that. She doesn't look like a warrior. She doesn't carry herself like a champion. She looks like exactly what she is, a mining colony mechanic who fixes broken things for a living. The calm before the storm. As the ceremonial drums begin to thunder throughout the arena, and the energy shields power up to maximum strength, Nora Blake takes a deep breath and closes her eyes. For just a moment, she thinks of home. Of the mining station where she grew up, where a single mistake in the asteroid fields meant death. Where emergency repairs in hard vacuum were just another Tuesday. Where surviving meant being tougher, faster, and more adaptable than the hostile universe itself. The arena doors begin to open, and the greatest show in the galaxy is about to begin. The crowd's laughter is about to turn to stunned silence, and the galaxy is about to learn a very important lesson about what it means to be human. The Beast Unleashed. First blood in the arena. The arena floor trembles as the massive gates slide open with a grinding roar that echoes through the Colosseum. Nora Blake steps into the blindingly bright combat zone, her simple black coveralls a stark contrast to the gleaming crystalline architecture surrounding her. The crowd's laughter reaches a crescendo as she appears, some spectators literally falling from their seats in amusement. But in a secure observation deck high above the arena, General Marcus Stone watches with grim intensity. The grizzled military commander has seen more battles than most species have recorded in their entire histories. His weathered hands grip the railing as he observes the young woman who represents humanity's last hope. "Sir, should we abort the mission?" whispers Lieutenant Foster, standing beside him. "She's just a civilian mechanic." "This is madness." General Stone's jaw tightens. That civilian mechanic survived 15 years in the asteroid mining fields. She's repaired fusion reactors while under enemy fire. She's exactly who we need down there. The Crystal Titan. Nora's first opponent emerges from the opposite gate, and the arena falls silent for a moment. Krogar the Decimator stands 12 feet tall, his body a living fortress of organic crystal and metal. His 4 arms end in claws capable of tearing through starship hulls, and his multiple eyes glow with predatory intelligence. The crowd erupts in cheers as Krogar raises all 4 arms, his crystalline body reflecting the arena lights in dazzling patterns. He has never lost a match. His species from Grimthorn evolved specifically for combat, their bodies naturally armored, their strength legendary across the galaxy. Look at the size difference. Vex Corvani's voice booms across the arena. Our little human barely reaches his waist. The betting pools are going absolutely wild. We're now seeing odds of 150,000 to 1 against the Earth representative. The unexpected move. Krogar pounds his chest with all 4 arms, producing a sound like thunder. The traditional challenge roar of his species echoes through the arena. Most opponents either flee or collapse in terror at this display. The crowd holds its breath, waiting for the human to run. Instead, Nora Blake does something completely unexpected. She yawns. Not a nervous yawn, not a fearful yawn, but the kind of bored, tired yawn someone makes when they've been working a double shift and just want to get the job done. She stretches her arms above her head, pops her neck, and looks up at the crystal giant with the same expression she might use when examining a broken atmospheric processor. "You know," she says, her voice carrying clearly through the arena's audio sensors, "I've seen bigger problems on a Tuesday morning." The Dance of Death. The match begins with Krogar's trademark move, a 4-armed assault that has crushed every previous opponent within seconds. His massive claws whistle through the air where Nora was standing, but she's no longer there. She's moved with a fluid grace that seems impossible for her species, rolling under his attack and coming up behind him. General Stone leans forward, his knuckles white. He knows what the galaxy is about to witness. Earth's gravity is considered moderate by galactic standards, but it's the other factors that make it a death world. The constant meteor bombardments, the violent weather systems, the need to adapt to rapidly changing conditions. Humans don't just survive their environment, they thrive in it. Nora's movements are poetry in motion. She doesn't fight like a warrior, she fights like someone who has spent their life solving problems under pressure. Every dodge is calculated, every movement efficient. She's not trying to match Krogar's strength, she's treating him like a complex machine that needs to be understood. The turning point. Krogar grows frustrated as his attacks continue to miss. His species relies on brute force and intimidation, but the small human keeps slipping away like smoke. The crowd's laughter has turned to confused murmurs. This isn't how these matches usually go. Fascinating, whispers Dr. Harrison Webb, the xenobiologist studying the match from his research station. She's not just avoiding his attacks, she's learning his patterns. Look at how she's positioning herself. Then it happens. Krogar overextends on a particularly vicious swipe, and Nora sees her opening. She doesn't try to match his strength, instead she uses his own momentum against him. A simple trip, perfectly timed, sends the massive crystal warrior crashing to the arena floor with a sound like a building collapsing. The arena falls dead silent. The revelation. Nora doesn't celebrate. She doesn't roar in victory or pound her chest. She simply walks over to where Krogar lies stunned and kneels beside him. With the same careful precision she uses to repair delicate machinery, she places her hand on a specific point on his crystalline armor. Pressure point between the third and fourth vertebral crystal, she explains calmly, as if giving a technical briefing. Your species has them too, just like the crystalline worms we deal with in the asteroid fields. They're bigger than you, by the way. She applies just enough pressure to render him unconscious, not enough to cause permanent damage. The crowd watches in stunned silence as the legendary Krogar the Decimator, undefeated champion of dozens of worlds, is gently put to sleep by a human mechanic. The new reality. General Stone allows himself a small smile. And that, Lieutenant, is why we chose her. She doesn't see enemies, she sees problems to solve. And humans are very good at solving problems. The arena erupts in chaos. Spectators are screaming, bookmakers are fainting, and the odds boards are shorting out from the sudden shift in betting patterns. Vex Corvani's voice cracks as he attempts to commentate what just happened. Ladies and gentlemen, in the most shocking upset in galactic sports history, the human has defeated Krogar the Decimator. I repeat, the human has won. This is unprecedented. This is impossible. This is... As Nora Blake walks calmly back to her preparation chamber, the galaxy begins to realize that maybe they don't know as much about Deathworlders as they thought. The laughter has stopped. The mockery has ended. And the real tournament is just beginning. Secrets of the Death World. The Medical Bay Revelation. In the arena's medical facility, Dr. Harrison Webb stares at his scanner readings in complete disbelief. The xenobiologist has studied hundreds of species across the galaxy, but the data coming from Nora Blake's medical examination is rewriting everything he thought he knew about human physiology. This can't be right, he mutters, running the scans for the fourth time. Computer, verify biological readings on the human subject. The clinical AI responds in its typical monotone, readings confirmed, Dr. Webb. Subject shows cardiovascular efficiency 340% above galactic average, reflexes 280% faster than baseline sentient norms, and bone density comparable to Type 7 armor plating. Dr. Webb drops his data pad. That's impossible. She looks so normal. The preparation chamber. Meanwhile, in her preparation chamber, Nora sits quietly on a simple bench, methodically checking her gear. Her movements are precise, economical, the habits of someone who has learned that wasted motion in dangerous environments means death. She's not celebrating her victory over Krogar, she's preparing for the next challenge. General Stone enters the chamber, his military bearing evident even in civilian clothes. That was impressive work out there, Blake. Nora looks up, her expression neutral. It was just problem-solving, General. Same as fixing a broken reactor core under pressure. You identify the weakness, you exploit it efficiently. The galaxy is starting to take notice. The betting odds have shifted dramatically. You're no longer the laughingstock of the tournament. Nora shrugs. Good. Maybe they'll stop underestimating us. The Deathworld classification. Dr. Webb bursts into the chamber, his excitement barely contained. General Stone. I need to speak with you immediately. The readings from Ms. Blake are extraordinary. I've been analyzing Earth's classification as a Class 12 Deathworld, and I think I understand why humans are so uniquely adapted for survival. General Stone raises an eyebrow. Enlighten us, Doctor. It's not just one factor, it's everything. Earth's gravity creates denser bone structure and stronger cardiovascular systems. The atmospheric composition forces efficient oxygen processing. The weather patterns require rapid environmental adaptation. But most importantly, the constant threat of extinction events has bred a species that thrives under pressure. Nora continues checking her equipment. You mean the fact that our planet tries to kill us every day makes us harder to kill? Exactly. Other species evolved on stable worlds with predictable environments. Humans evolved on a planet where survival meant constant adaptation. Your species doesn't just endure stress, you perform better under it. The next opponent. The arena's announcement system crackles to life. Attention spectators, the next match will feature our surprising human competitor against Silphira the Void Hunter, champion of the Shadow Realm tournaments and holder of 73 confirmed kills. General Stone's expression darkens. Silphira is different from Krogar. She's not just strong, she's intelligent. Her species can phase in and out of reality. She won't underestimate you. Nora stands, her preparations complete. Then I'll have to be smarter than she is. The Shadow Realm champion. As they head toward the arena, Dr. Webb continues his analysis. What your species calls common sense is actually an incredibly sophisticated survival system. Pattern recognition, threat assessment, adaptive problem solving, all operating at subconscious levels. You don't think about these things, you just do them. Because we had to, Nora replies simply. The ones who couldn't adapt didn't survive to pass on their genes. They reach the arena entrance, where the crowd's energy has completely changed. The laughter and mockery have been replaced by intense curiosity and nervous excitement. The galaxy is beginning to understand that they might have been wrong about humans. The revelation spreads. In the observation decks, alien dignitaries whisper among themselves. The Galactic Council representatives are reviewing Earth's files with new interest. Admiral Thex of the Hegemony Fleet leans forward in his seat. If one human can defeat Krogar the Decimator, what could a million humans do? He asks his aide. Sir, their military records show they've been fighting wars on multiple fronts for centuries. They call it normal history. And we were going to make them a mining colony. Admiral Thex shakes his head. Perhaps we should reconsider our approach to Earth. The scientist's warning. Dr. Webb pulls General Stone aside as they near the arena floor. General, there's something else. The stress readings from Ms. Blake during her fight with Krogar showed something remarkable. Her performance didn't degrade under pressure, it improved. Her reaction times actually got faster as the fight progressed. What are you saying, Doctor? I'm saying that what we just witnessed wasn't a human at their peak performance. It was a human getting warmed up. If she faces a truly dangerous opponent, someone who pushes her to her actual limits, the galaxy might see what humans are really capable of. General Stone watches as Nora enters the arena, her calm demeanor unchanged despite the roaring crowd and the magnitude of what she's accomplished. Doctor, I think the galaxy is about to get that demonstration. The stakes rise. As the arena doors seal and the energy shields reach maximum power, the entire galaxy holds its breath. The small human mechanic who was supposed to be comic relief has become the center of the greatest sporting event in galactic history. But more than that, she's become a symbol of something the galaxy thought it understood but clearly doesn't. The question isn't whether humans belong among the galactic community anymore. The question is whether the galactic community is ready for what humanity represents. The Shadow Realm champion materializes in the arena, her form shifting between dimensions. The crowd gasps at her otherworldly beauty and obvious lethality. But in the preparation areas, other competitors are no longer watching for entertainment. They're watching to learn. Because after today, everyone in the galaxy will know what it means to be human. The Apex Predator. The Shadow Dance. The arena floor shimmers with otherworldly energy as Silthera the Void Hunter phases in and out of reality. Her translucent form moves like liquid darkness, beautiful and terrifying in equal measure. The crowd watches in mesmerized silence as she demonstrates her species' most feared ability, existing in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Ladies and gentlemen, Vex Corvani's voice carries a newfound respect as he commentates, "We are witnessing the ultimate test of our human competitor. Silthera has never lost a match, and 73 previous champions have fallen to her dimensional abilities. How do you fight an opponent who can literally exist outside of reality?" Admiral Victor Cross watches from the highest observation deck, his scarred face impassive. Unlike General Stone, who commanded ground forces, Admiral Cross has spent decades fighting in the void between stars. He knows something about humans that the galaxy is about to learn. The first phase. Silthera strikes without warning, her form solidifying just long enough to deliver a blow that would shatter concrete. But Nora isn't there. She's moved with the same fluid precision she showed against Krogar, but this time there's something different in her movements. Something predatory. "Interesting," Nora says, her voice carrying clearly through the arena. "You phase out of reality to avoid damage, then phase back in to attack. But you have to be solid to affect the physical world." Silthera hisses in response, her form flickering between dimensions. She's fought thousands of opponents, but none have ever spoken to her so casually during combat. Most are too busy trying to survive her opening assault. The hunter's instinct. Dr. Webb leans forward in his observation booth, his instruments recording every detail. "General Stone, look at her biometric readings. Her stress levels are actually decreasing. She's not just adapting to the fight, she's enjoying it." "Earth's apex predators don't just hunt for survival," General Stone replies grimly. "They hunt because they're built for it. We may have made a mistake thinking Nora was just a mechanic." On the arena floor, Nora's movements have changed. The careful, economical motions of an engineer have transformed into something more primal. She's not just solving a problem anymore, she's hunting. The dimensional gambit. Silthera phases out of reality completely, becoming invisible to normal senses. The crowd gasps as she vanishes entirely, leaving Nora alone on the arena floor. This is Silthera's signature move, the one that has ended 73 previous matches. She can attack from any angle, from any dimension, while remaining completely untouchable. But Nora doesn't panic. She doesn't spin around looking for her opponent. Instead, she closes her eyes and stands perfectly still. "What is she doing?" whispers Lieutenant Foster from the observation deck. Admiral Cross allows himself a small smile. "She's listening. Humans are persistence hunters. We don't just track with our eyes, we use every sense we have." The revelation. Nora's eyes snap open, and she moves with lightning speed. Her hand reaches out and grabs what appears to be empty air, but suddenly Silthera materializes, trapped in Nora's grip. The Shadow Realm champion's eyes widen in shock as she realizes she's been caught mid-phase. "You make a sound when you transition between dimensions," Nora explains calmly. "A tiny vibration in the air. And you have to breathe, even when you're phased. Carbon dioxide displacement. I've been tracking you the whole time." The arena erupts in chaos. No one has ever caught Silthera during a phase transition. It should be impossible. The final confrontation. Silthera breaks free and phases back into the Shadow Realm, but now she's afraid. For the first time in her career, she's facing an opponent who can track her through dimensions. The human's eyes follow her movements even when she's completely invisible. This is unprecedented. Vex Corvani's voice cracks with excitement. The human is actually tracking the Void Hunter through dimensional space. Our instruments can't even do that. Dr. Webb's readings are off the charts. General, her sensory processing is operating at levels we didn't know were possible. She's not just using her 5 senses, she's using senses we don't have names for. The Apex Predator emerges. The fight intensifies as Silthera abandons her usual tactics and engages in direct combat. But she's made a crucial error. She's fighting a human the way humans were meant to fight, in direct physical confrontation. Nora's movements become poetry in motion. Every strike is precise, every dodge calculated. She's not just fighting anymore, she's demonstrating something the galaxy has never seen. A human pushed to their absolute limits. Admiral Cross speaks quietly to his aide. Do you know what the most dangerous predator on Earth is, Commander? No, sir. Humans. They're the only species that hunts other apex predators for sport. They're the only species that has never had a natural predator as adults. They're the only species that hunts in every environment on their planet. The end of the dance. The match ends not with a brutal finishing move, but with simple efficiency. Nora catches Silthera in a hold that neutralizes her dimensional abilities, applying just enough pressure to render her unconscious without causing permanent damage. The arena falls silent once again. The Shadow Realm champion, undefeated across 73 matches, lies peacefully on the arena floor. The human mechanic stands over her, not in triumph, but with the same calm professionalism she brings to every task. And that, Admiral Cross says to his aide, is why Earth will never be anyone's mining colony. The galaxy takes notice. In observation decks across the arena, alien dignitaries are frantically revising their opinions of humanity. The Galactic Council representatives are already drafting new treaties. The betting pools have completely collapsed as odds become meaningless. But Nora Blake simply walks back to her preparation chamber, ready for whatever comes next. She's not celebrating, she's not boasting. She's just doing her job. The galaxy is beginning to understand that maybe they've been thinking about this all wrong. Maybe the question isn't whether humans deserve a place in galactic society. Maybe the question is whether galactic society deserves humans. The tournament continues, but everything has changed. The small blue planet in the unfashionable end of the galaxy is no longer a target for exploitation. It's a power to be respected.